I'm going to do a quick video about the R10 regulator. Obviously I have videos that show you how to remove the old regulator, but every now and again people get stuck because they remove this part of the regulator following the other video that I've done. But some of them have got verdigris, which is like a green, I don't know, it's not rust, but it's I suppose it's the brass equivalent of rust. Which then makes parts tricky to get out. Normally, this brass bit, you would just bang on a table and it would come out. But obviously this one's not. So if you have a look, there's, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it, but there's like a, almost like a plus sign in there where the ports have been cross-drilled. What sometimes works is if you get a flat screwdriver, which fits in to the hole and into those slots. There's not much to go on, but if you push down pretty hard and try and turn the screwdriver, you can often turn the brass bit, which sometimes is enough to free up the brass. I mean, that brass bit's turning there. You won't be able to see that, but it's turning. Sometimes that's enough to free it up enough to be able to get it out. Obviously that's not out, but it's loose now, which is a good thing. Something else you can do is you could use a lubricant of some sort to help loosen things up and just get things moving. Obviously, if you're going to spray a lubricant into the regulator housing, then you'll need to make sure you clean it out before you put it back together, you know, before you put the new regulator in, because you don't want any of the residue from whatever lubricant you've used going in there. When I say lubricant, you could use things like penetrating oils, PTFE, whatever helps loosen things up. Okay, there we go. What I've done there is I've put the same screwdriver in, and it's a fairly decent fit in that hole. And then I've twisted the screwdriver, which has then locked the brass bit in and enabled me to basically extract it by friction. So that's the brass bit out. And this has actually come out complete. So there's the O-ring. If you pop that O-ring off, which is now brittle and square, that's the little retainer. There's an O-ring in there, and there's a ball and spring there. So that's pretty much everything out of the hole. Always just double check with a torch or something else, make sure there's no O-rings or springs or balls or anything left in there. What you may sometimes find is doing what I've just done may not be enough, and then it starts getting a little bit trickier. In some instances I've had to go to the extremes of using a drill bit, and what I normally do is put the drill bit on very slow. I use a battery drill which has a variable speed trigger, and I started very slowly, a reasonable sized drill bit that because it's going slowly, it cuts into the brass, because brass is pretty soft. It cuts into the brass starts spinning, and sometimes just that action of cutting into the brass, if you stop the trigger and then pull it out, it sometimes extracts it, because obviously the drill bit's cut into the brass, which then gives it something to hold on to, which you can then pull out. And I think in one case I have had to I used a milling cutter to basically bore out the thing completely, but I've only ever had one that's been that extreme, and the rifle itself had been abused, and I don't know, it looked like it'd been left in a ditch for months. So you know, normally this is all you're going to need to get the old regulator out. I hope that helps.